Thank you very much. I came in a little late as far as asking the question is concerned. Technology has been one subject which has been a common thread through the issues that we have been seeing. And I'm wondering whether India is in a position today to be able to leapfrog and use technology as a solution to many of the issues which have been discussed, debated, and are still out there in the open.
Montek, do you want to address that?
No, the general notion of leapfrogging is that if you've got a huge amount of infrastructure locked into a particular technology, then you induct the new technology a little more slowly. But if you don't have that infrastructure locked into the old technology, you bring in the new technology straight away. So from that perspective, absolutely certain that India has that option. But in the whole thing about technology is, again, nimbleness of decision-making and openness to change. At the same Guangzhou conference that we were at, during a lighter moment, all the guys were sort of trying to draw policy lessons from their national sport. So the Spaniards and the Latinos were trying to draw policy lessons from football. So a guy from Finland, he said, look, I don't know anything about football, but I know about ice hockey. And I can tell you that in ice hockey, the definition of good players is the players who are around where the puck is. But the best player is the one who's where the puck will be. And I mean, that's the issue. Biggest problem in any, particularly in a governmental system, if a committee of secretaries has decided that X is the right technology, and if you are sufficiently unfortunate that a hugely better technology immediately arises, it will take 20 years to reverse the first decision. So it's got to be clear. I mean, technology changes when anybody who's competing is free to compete and change, and government is least involved in that decision making. And we need to move towards that.
Well, on that note of the need to be nimble, let me invite Dr. Rajat Kathuria, Director, ICRIER, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ishar. It's been, I think you will all agree with me that this has been a mouth-watering panel discussion, pun not intended. On the world in 2050, a world we hope will be more just, prosperous, and harmonious, if only for the first time in history. We at ICRIER are working on many of the themes that we discussed today: trade, agriculture, climate change, urbanization, and technology. And we hope that our research is also informed in the future by the long-term view. Who would have imagined that the world's largest retail company today would not have any retail stores? Who would have imagined that the world's largest hotel company today owns no rooms, and the world's largest taxi company owns no fleet? It is therefore important for our research to take a long-term view now, and we would like to thank Dr. Kohli to agree to the first launch of his book in India along with ICRIER. Thank you very much. It will indeed inspire our future work. Thank you also to Mr. Piyush Goyal in absentia for sharing his thoughts, and we wish him Godspeed in the changes he wishes to bring to India's energy sources, access and deficit. And we hope that his journey is rewarding, not only for him, but also for the nation. Thank you, Ninan, Montek, and Arunabha, who, as one expects, all of them were superb, articulate, and scholarly. At ICRIER, we are proud of the fact, and humble at the same time, that we continue to attract scholars in residence and scholars to our seminars and workshops. And I would like to say to Montek, who just mentioned, that some work on the impact of free trade areas on India's economy and how that kind of result is perceived both by industry and also by our client, who is the policymaker. We have begun in a small way, we have begun to work on the impact of BITs and whether we could have designed them better to the advantage of India. And we would like to do the same thing for FTAs, in fact, the mega regionals, whether A, we could have designed them better, whether we negotiate them better, and what are the benefits that India can leverage from those FTAs. I think the question has to be, what are the benefits? Because these are trends that will occur in the future. Thank you to OUP for displaying the foresight in publishing the book and in partnering with us in India's first launch. And thank you to Isha, ICRIER's chairperson, of course, for skillfully chairing the session. And she knows this, but I must share it with you. ICRIER is 70% women. And we are told by the IMF that if we had gender balance in our workforce, our GDP would have been 27% higher. ICRIER's productivity is already very high. And ICRIER has always, and Isha has always stood by us to support us and our research. And finally, thank you to all you distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and we recognize so many of you here, friends of ICRIER, for coming and supporting our research. Thank you to the media, and finally, thank you to our ICRIER family. There are too many to name, but they know who I mean, and you know them too, since they are the ones who've made our events truly agreeable and congenial. Thank you, all of you, once again, warmly, and I hope you have a pleasant evening, and I hope you will join us for dinner downstairs in Juniper Hall immediately after this. Thank you all very much. Manoj's argument is that our trade deficit is why don't somebody critique it?